In this video, guys, we're going to look at a swing trade short I took on a UK share. This is kind of series of videos we're doing. We're talking about some of the trades that I've taken to kind of go through a review. Hopefully you take one or two bits away from it. I'm just going to talk through the entry, the exit, the criteria, and the management of the whole deal. Stick around. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Alright, so I've done a series of videos recently that they've been uploaded now, they're going to be uploaded soon, or they have been uploaded. We'll talk a little bit about some of the trades that I've recently taken. So, mixture of trades, as real trading is, guys. Some trades were just perfect, some trades were okay and profitable, and you have to kind of manage it a little bit differently, didn't quite get what you expect, but it's still good. And some trades are stopped out, and I've done those and they're all coming, so make sure you're subscribed. And I think hopefully the value to you guys is that I can just talk through the process. I'm doing them anyway, I've got my journal anyway. Why not share some of the stuff with you? And maybe you take one or few bits and pieces away from it. Maybe you can add it to some of the other bits and pieces that I do, and hopefully it helps you out. And if you do like this kind of stuff, let me know in the comment section below. Give it a thumbs up, all that usual stuff to let me know if you wanted me to do some more of these bits and pieces. Okay, so we're looking at the screens now. It's a company called Stagecoach, not a particularly popular stock, I know it's not, but I'll talk about why I filtered it and took this trade anyway. But if you're interested in the more common, popular stocks, I've got some other tech stocks reviews that I did, NASDAQ trade as well, so you can check those out. This was ticked loads of boxes for me for various reasons after the coronavirus dip, if you like. And actually, this happens to be almost a textbook exit. You couldn't get any better. Guys, there's a little bit of luck, of course it is. There's a little bit of luck in here. Are all trades like this? No, definitely not, which is why you see a selection of trades for different exits and different entries and stop outs and stuff. But this is what happened, so I'm just sharing with you as it happened. Let's hit the screens and have a look. All right, guys, so Stagecoach. Why did I pick Stagecoach? Well, the reason I picked this company is that we had the coronavirus hit, and this stock got absolutely massacred. Coach company, transportation company in the UK, basically ferrying people around. You get the idea what Coach does. Pretty much going to get battered by lockdown, pretty much getting battered by people's hygiene, people not wanting to sit next to someone who's coughing away. I get it. So, and also a company that probably is struggling as it is anyway. But regardless of that, let's put things to one side. All that mattered to me is the fact that we dive lower, like everything had, every single thing had, even the stocks that are now all-time highs had, QQQs had, tech had, Amazon had, everyone had, retail had specifically. Dive lower, started to recover, but really this is the telltale sign. When you start to see this happening, and then you look at the broader market and you see the broader market starting to push a little bit higher, then you say, well, this can be categorized as a weak stock. So I categorized this as a weak stock. I categorized things like RBS as a weak stock, some of the banks like Lloyd's, anything that basically exhibited a pattern that wasn't matching the underlying market. Now, you can use the FTSE 100, you can use the FTSE 250, FTSE 350, you can look at a broad selection of indices, but you get the idea. You're just comparing it to how the broader market is trading. So the market pushes lower, market starts to recover, this doesn't. And I just think that we're going to revisit lows. And I remember talk where I'd said, hey, you know what, I felt like I was a little bit lazy taking a short FTSE trade, because short FTSE is not really the stocks I want to be exposed to. So I'm going to pivot out into some of the weaker stocks. And you know what, that really is the right thing to do. Even though it's harder to kind of pick the stocks, and you're a little more vulnerable potentially to the risk of stock gapping. But if you can pick weaker stocks to be short on and longer, stronger stocks to be long on, it just helps what you're doing. So anyway, by the by, what I'm looking for now, guys, is some kind of trigger. We're sitting in this long bear flag here. I'm looking for some kind of trigger. I'm around here. It's kind of come into my radar. It's sitting around doing not a lot. I think I'd had another little trade out of it before that, a little short trade off this low here. And I'm kind of still looking for a move, and the thesis of the trade is we're going to revisit lows. That's the thesis of the trade. I need some sort of catalyst and trigger. Now, we're coming to the end of the month of April, and one of my things I was thinking of as well on a broader market is, okay, throughout April we might stagnate, and then maybe through May we'll see a bit of selling. And so, as we're coming to the end of April, as we're coming to the beginning of May, these are definitely on my list. Get some of the short positions that I've been eyeing up and looking at, or maybe you've taken before and had a chunk out of and got stopped on half or whatever the situation is, and reassess those and look for an entry to get in for a revisit of lows. So anyway, this is sitting in a long bear flag. I'm going to admit to you it's a long bear flag. It's not textbook. If you go and you look at, probably a touch too big, you know, in the tradition of a bear flag, because we've been sitting here for multiple days after a big drive lower. Now it ticks the box that it's in the lower, kind of lower chunk. It ticks the box that there was a good momentum drive lower. It ticks a lot of boxes in the fact that the volume was decreasing as well, without going into too much depth here and spoiling it. That's pretty much, you know, was okay. However, one of the things I had my eye on was this. Like I say, the end of the month, which is so key. You gotta be remembering where you are on the days and the months and the hours and stuff. If you're day trading, very important to look at. But this was important as well. So we had this drive lower, and we started to, you know, really look pretty weak. You know, this, if I get this out of the way so you can see that we started to break that uptrend here, and it was the first of the month, and we had that really weak day yesterday, the break of highs that didn't continue after a 1, 2, 3, 4 day move, push lower. Here we go. Now I'm looking to trade this market. I'm looking to get short on it. So the next day, bang, I get short, and it was around the 72 pence level. It was around 72, 73, 72, 50, 72, 70, something like that. By the time I stagger move, it was a bit of a thin market this, so you've got to be a little bit mindful. Something also about trading thin shares, guys, you can't go in too crazy with size. You've got to stagger your orders around. You've got to be prepared for a little bit of risk. But if you're staggering it across a basket of stocks, which I had done, then all is good. You can't eliminate risk completely in the deal, guys, but you know, you can try your best. Anyway, started to tick lower, and you can see exactly what happened. Now, my exit happened to be at the low, and in fact I'll tell you my kind of average exit. I'll just log on to my platform on the mobile here and I'll bring it up. So the average exit was 51.95, so you can see where it was. Now, is that me going, oh, am I great, I'm getting a low? No. It's basically saying the thesis was that we'd break to low, we'd push to lows, and I'm going to close it. In actual fact, I closed half on that low, and the next day I closed some as we started to push up back through here, and I think it was 56 something. I'll check it. 56 something here, 56.75 average. So you get the idea. So splitting into tranches. Now, a good trade. You know, it was a good percentage-wise, a huge trade. Profit-wise, a nice trade. Risk reward was pretty good as well, because the stop is obviously going above that high, so I've got a reasonably tight stop on the trade. It's not going to go too crazy. It's a couple of, it's a good, reasonably good trade. But what I really want to focus on was perhaps the trigger into the trade, of waiting for the opportunity, which was nice. The exit was nice. Should I have closed all of it there? No, I don't think so. Now, hindsight, obviously, I should have done. But I know that we very often, the thesis was that we pushed to lows. So I got that, so I'm going to take some off the table, and that exit was a very nice exit. It looks very good on the chart, makes you look like some kind of hero. Of course we're not. Sometimes we get lucky. And I did a video actually exclusively talking, guys, funnily enough, you might have watched it already, talking about taking, getting out highs and lows and making yourself look like a trading god, because very often markets do probe to highs and fake, probe to lows and fake, and that happens more often than not. If you're in a trade, it makes sense to at least be trimming some as you start to do that. So anyway, and also I'm aware that the market is still chugging higher here. So even though there's a disparity between these weak stocks and the strong stocks, the market's still chugging higher, can cause me a little bit of a problem. Anyway, come out of that trade. Finally come out of the last batch of it in the whatever it was, I told it earlier, 56.5, 56.75 something, purely because it looked like a fake out then, and we'd started to kind of push back up. I just don't want it. I gave it more room because I thought, okay, if we close at lows, we might get a further move, or might get one day of fake and then roll over again. We might end up in the 40s. It's worth trailing for that. The amount of juice left in that trade could have been substantial. It's well worth it. But in actual fact, it is what it is. I get the stop out on the final batch, or I take it off of the final batch, not really a stop as such. A good exit on that half. But really, it's the trigger, it's the risk reward ratio, it's waiting for opportunity, and also looking at the bigger price action picture. Guys, I talk about this all the time, and some people have different strategies, and that works well for them. And I have nothing against other strategies, but for me, most definitely, price action strategy is about looking at the broader picture. It's about understanding the sentiment, having your filters in place. The filters are so key. If a stock doesn't get through or market doesn't get through those filters, I don't take the trade. If it does, I still don't hit the trade until I get one of those triggers. And then the trigger, take the trade, good risk reward ratio, good probability of success, all those other things line up. And you know, I'll take these all day long. There's a very similar chart with Lloyd's Bank. I'm not going to kind of go through a trade setup because it's almost identical type of trade. It went through the lows, ended up taking some out of the lows, makes you look really good. Pots back up, stops you out on the other batch. Nice percentage trade. Will there be another trade on it? Probably will. You know, these are still sitting at lows. Will there be a catalyst that helps it go lower? Maybe. They are still on my weak stock list. As I've got my strong stock lists, I've got my weak stocks. I'm going to go to them as and when we're still in this phase, in this environment of stocks doing their own thing. And it's the same whatever you're trading, guys, you know, whatever market you decide to trade. So anyway, that's a trade. I thought it may help some of you guys out a little bit. If you like this kind of stuff, a thumbs up. Don't forget to visit our channel sponsor. There's a link to them in the description below. Otherwise, take care, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.